all began back in December. Every team with a positive outlook going forward.
3 seconds. 2, 1. It's good! A buzzer beater.
Through the course of the season, ups and downs.
Knocked down and wins it in overtime.
And that will be it. My goodness. Heartbreak.
And now.
Great fight, but they come up just short.
We're in playoff time.
What a ball game. What a classic.
And every team's trying to
earn a trip to the state tournament.
The state tournament. The excitement begins now.
What a night here. They win. My goodness, what a finish.
WCMP Sports presents high school basketball.
And welcome in, sports fans. Andy Beckstrom alongside Mr. Adam Hefty. And glad you could join us for tonight's broadcast. Hinckley Jaguar Gymnasium, the site of tonight's matchup. Section 5A, subsection East, final matchup, with the winner moving on to one more game before the state tournament. And Adam, bringing you in here to the broadcast up here on the mezzanine as we get set for tonight's matchup. This will be the third meeting between these two teams, and it should be a good one tonight.
When you look back at seasons every once in a while, you find matchups towards the end in the playoffs, and you're thinking, this was almost destiny. And I feel like this was almost destiny. The first two games, very close. Both teams winning on the road, believe it or not. And the first one in Braham was won by a buzzer beater, a true buzzer beater, to win that. And Braham wins a little comfortable. It looks a little comfortable, but it was close throughout, and they just kind of pulled away towards the end. But, yeah, it feels like destiny that it was always going to end up at this point.
It was kind of an inevitability. You looked at the way the teams finished last year. They were, hotly contested coming down the stretch, really the last 2 years, but especially last year. And you knew what both teams were bringing back. You knew that they were going to have a lot of talent out there. And sure enough, we get to the end of the season, and they're 1-2 coming into the respective playoffs and their respective positioning. Just slight differences, really, between the two teams. Now, I will say that there's been, I don't want to say a little bit of luster has come off of this matchup a little bit, but I think that really it's going to come down to depth tonight. I think that that's going to be a huge factor on who's going to come away with the victory tonight. We talked the other night about Ogilvie losing one of their star guards. It's always tough to lose somebody, but when you lose somebody that's a true ball handler, a great shooter, and a senior leader, she's still here in the building. She's still actually out there warming up. But with the knee injury like that, obviously not playing, when you lose a player of Grace Hines' caliber, it definitely makes it kind of a tough sledding, if you will, to try to be able to withstand certain things. We've seen it the other night against Uppsala, where the second half, Ogilvie just started to lose a little bit of steam. Really, they rotate about 7 people now that Hines is down. Depth is going to be a big factor tonight, especially how deep Braham goes.
And it's almost, not almost. Ogilvie's offense has run through Grace Hines all season, and to have it come down to that, it's really upsetting. You told us through a text about it happening, and Ethan and I both were like, oh, darn it, man, that stinks. But you're really not going to get a Grace Hines caliber output from any one player that comes off the bench. So what you're going to need to do is have all your players that come out to play to pick up the slack and see if the sum of the parts can equal the whole.
Well, and that's one of the things we talked about the other night, that when you lose somebody like that, somebody needs to step up. And a day before Alexander Graham Bell's birthday, stepping up and answering the call big time was Aaliyah Robine. She scored in double digits in that game. Looking at my notes here real quick, she had 17 points and 5 rebounds in a roll off the bench. Played really good guard play. She wasn't afraid to shoot, and that's really one of the things in both games that I had last weekend. Those were the 2 semifinal games. These two teams both showed that it doesn't matter who it is. If you're the 9th player off the bench, have that confidence to shoot it. Nobody out there for both teams, really, even especially with Braham all the way down to 9th player, didn't matter. If you have an opportunity to be able to score, go to the basket, if it's an open shot, they're all smart players. They know what a good shot is. They're not just hoisting poor decisions out there. They all have that green light. It's not all right, we need to settle it down and get it to this person, or we need to settle it down and get it to that person. everybody has that ability and everybody has that confidence to take that shot, especially even in the Braham game. We've seen that right at the end with a 3 to put Braham up 1 with just seconds left to go by one of the Rysdam sisters. Just a tremendous finish on somebody that's coming off the bench again in that type of support role.
Adding to that point, you were speaking about Robine. She was the one that hit the buzzer beater in Braham to beat the Bombers, and the only reason she was in there was because Cadence Pierce fouled out with 10 seconds left to go in the game, and so Robine came in and hit the buzzer beater, and if that's not stepping up off the bench, I don't know what is.
These two teams both come in with a lot of success throughout the year. Ogilvie, very much so a very first half oriented team. They've jumped out to big leads in the first half. We'll see if they do the same tonight and see if Braham can withstand that punch and then see what happens in the second half. Either way, should be a tremendous ball game. The other half of the section, I believe you said, is Walker, Hackensack, Akeley, and
Nevis.
It's
a 1-3 matchup. Walker, Hackensack, Akeley is the first seed. Nevis is the third seed. Braham has played both of those teams. I'm not sure if Ogilvie has.
They have not.
Braham has beaten both of those teams. They beat Walker, Hackensack, Akeley in Braham and then traveled to Nevis to defeat them.
We don't want to put ourselves ahead of anything, but at the same time, there's a good likelihood that this game is going to be the toughest matchup for either one of these squads moving forward. There's a really good shot at being able to get one of our teams to the state girls basketball tournament in Class A.
It's been a while.
Another week. We're going to have a matchup, a section final with that other half of the bracket. That'll be on Saturday at Hollenbeck Hall. On Friday at Hollenbeck Hall, exactly like I said. I thought for sure it was on Saturday when I looked at it. Maybe I was looking at it wrong. Maybe I'm going to have a Saturday off.
Maybe.
That sounds absolutely out of control. I don't know what I would do with myself if I had a full day off like that. Either way,
nothing good.
That's probably a fact. That is absolutely factual right there. Braham and Ogilvie, though, coming up here on the broadcast. Andy Beckstrom, Adam Hefty on the call. We're going to get our starting lineups and get things rolling here in Hinckley when we return to the broadcast in just a little bit on WCMP.
Hi, this is Sarah from Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Do you know about our propane customer referral program? It's simple and rewarding. Refer a qualified new Burnett Dairy propane customer and you'll receive a $100 credit to your account. Terms and conditions apply. Call 715-689-1032 for details and follow our Burnett Dairy General Store Facebook page. Share the warmth with Burnett Dairy.
At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well. At every age and every stage. If you've been busy taking care of everything else but neglecting your own personal health, don't let another year go by without making yourself a priority. Get an annual checkup. Please schedule an appointment at Wellia Health today. Call us at 320-679-1313.
A jewelry store. Nada.
Then it's a thrift store?
Nada. A pawn shop. Nada. Another Man's Treasure is not a lot of things. What it is a place to find gently used power tools, hand tools, tires, fishing and hunting gear, motocross gear, and a ton of other cool stuff. Stop by and sell your gently used items, or buy something at a fraction of the price of buying it new. Another Man's Treasure in Becker, Princeton,
Kettle River
East
Pizza, the
Bethel,
handcrafted
Rice Lake,
pizza made
Wisconsin,
locally in
or
Ash
North
Cove, Minnesota. Always the highest quality ingredients. Pizza that is consistently great tasting. A true crowd pleaser. 16 varieties to choose from. Enjoy the classics like pepperoni, pepperoni sausage and supreme, to the unique tastes of hot Hawaiian, taco, buffalo chicken, and chicken Alfredo. Pick some up at your
more
local
customers,
grocer, tavern, or
more name
convenience store.
recognition,
And
more employees, more market share. If you'd like a little more for your business, it's time to start digital advertising. Did you know that the average person spends 4.5 hours per day on their smartphone? It's time for you to start reaching them. Streaming TV, SEO or SEM, display ads, and email marketing. If your business could use a little more, contact us now and we can help. Info at Q-Media.
Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for bulk baseball and fast-pitch softball. If your batter needs some individual instruction, Here's the Pitch has lessons with current and former collegiate instructors. Make the right call today. They've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. Here'sthepitchmn.com.
Aw, man. Hinckley Collision.
Hell no. My new car?
Hinckley Collision is the right decision. Fender benders, major accident damage, or hail damage. Hinckley Collision is the right decision. With 24/7 towing and fast, friendly, professional service, their collision department will get you back on the road in no time. With decades of experience dealing with insurance carriers, make the call today. 320.
Promoting good health in children is the best way to ensure they'll enjoy good health as adults. Don't skip out on your children's wellness appointments. Call Wellia Health today at 320-679-1313 to set up a Well Child visit. Our friendly family medicine providers love to support young families by helping your children stay healthy, active, and feeling their very best.
Exhale
WelliaHealth.org.
letting any tension leave your body. Breathe in deeply as you stretch every fiber of your soul.
This woman's gonna kill me. I know, and she's so boring.
Now, lift your back.
I'd rather have the WCMP deals guy leading this class. Oh, yeah.
This week, snag a 30-minute massage at Pine City Family Chiropractic for only $45. Free.
WCMPradio.com/deals. Slowly now, WCMP
Kettle River Pizza is a proud supporter of sports teams and community organizations. Local groups and teams across the state have had amazing success with Kettle River Pizza fundraising. From sausage and pepperoni to chicken Alfredo or the hot Hawaiian, the cheesy deliciousness practically sells itself. Visit KettleRiverPizza.com to schedule your next fundraiser.
When aches and pains are interfering with your daily life, Wellia Health wants to help. The sports medicine team at Wellia Health is here to help you get back to the things you love. Wellia Health has a highly skilled sports medicine team with a wide range of experiences. They are also experts in concussion management, a concern for young athletes and adults alike. No matter the injury, get back in the game with an appointment at Wellia Health. Call us today at 320-679.
Hi, I'm on the side of the highway with a flat. Can you help me?
On the way.
Hinckley Towing?
Yep. How can we help?
We just had an accident and don't know where to bring the vehicle.
No sweat. We'll come out now and bring you back to our collision center.
Hinckley Towing. Experienced drivers, state-of-the-art trucks, and 24/7 service. For Hinckley Towing, call 320-385-4049 anytime. Hinckley Towing. 320-385-4049 anytime.
WCMP, Andy Beckstrom on hand with Adam Hefty for tonight's matchup. Section 5A East semifinal, or actually the 5A East final, the semifinal for 5A as a whole, as Walker, Hackensack, Akeley, and Nevis will do battle in the West subsection.
That's over in Wadena Deer Creek.
They are at Wadena Deer Creek, as Mr. Hefty has told me. That's this just in on the broadcast.
I don't know if you should believe me, but that's...
I will, whether it's true or not. I'll go ahead and I'll take your word for that one. We have Ogilvie and Braham in this matchup tonight on FM 100.9 WCMP. Over on Nice 95.5 at North Branch versus Cloquet in a boys basketball playoff matchup. Ethan Game Day Gilman will have the call on that one. Then there will be a whole slew of games coming up tomorrow, including East Central and St. John's Prep on FM 106.5 with Ethan Game Day Gilman. Braham versus Swanville on FM 100.9 WCMP. That will be with Mr. Adam Hefty. And then Foley, St. Cloud Cathedral boys basketball on Nice 95.5. That will be with myself, Andy Beckstrom, on the call of that. If you're looking to find out where we're going to be, go to WCMPradio.com/broadcast schedule. That's where you'll be able to find a list of the games, what station we're going to be on, as well as a direct link to the respective YouTube feed to be able to listen to the audio stream anywhere that you have an internet connection. We are not doing video due to State High School League restrictions, but we will be streaming the audio nonetheless. So anywhere you are, if you want to be able to listen in, feel free to share that information. Again, WCMPradio.com/broadcast schedule. That's where you're able to find the list of games as they're announcing the substitutions. And I do like the fact that they are still listing Grace Hines out as one of the substitutions. She's not dressed, but still part of the team.
Absolutely. She's been the heartbeat of this team basically all season. Still looks like she is as well. So she's here for her team and trying to give them all she's got.
I will say that is one thing that I was very impressed with by the Ogilvie Lions the other night is when they came out in that matchup against Uppsala, they didn't seem to have a feeling of, oh, woe is me, and oh, we can't do this because we're missing Grace. Grace is right there on the bench, and I'm sure she had words of encouragement saying, hey, we got this. Let's go and get it. There's a lot of talent on that squad, and there was no quit in them at all, and that was really nice to see. And talking with Coach Pam Nichols afterwards, she thought that helped maybe grow a lot of confidence that, like, hey, we can still win a playoff game. We can still get things going and have a chance at this. So it's going to be a tough task in front of them with the Braham Bombers. 2 close games earlier this year. They split, each winning on the road, but nonetheless, neither team is going to give an inch on a game like this tonight.
It's going to be a character-building exercise for both squads. When you have Ogilvie, you're missing one of your best players. You're going to really have to dig deep to come out victorious on this. And on the Braham side, you have to be very careful of taking this Ogilvie team too lightly because Grace Hines isn't on the playing tonight, because they are still a very talented squad.
It's hard to say that a subsection final would be a trap game, but the way that it reads, the way that it looks, Braham was here for part of the game, but they didn't see much of the game. But whether they listened to the broadcast or whether they got the recap, I'm sure they've seen that Ogilvie did not slide their way in. They went out and they got a victory over the top of Uppsala. Braham on the other side winning over the top of BBE in extremely dramatic fashion. About a minute 45 left to go in the game. They were down 7 with BBE having the ball. It did not look good. It looked dire. Couple of turnovers, couple of big shots, including a big-time shot with 15 seconds left to go at the end of the game by Alex Rysdam off the bench. A clutch 3 from the corner, knocking that one down, giving them a 1-point lead. They held BBE off the score after that. They got the ball back and knocked down a couple of free throws, winning that one 65-62. Adam, I think you had checked in earlier in that game, and you're like, well, that's shucks, they lost the game.
Yeah, I went into an establishment with just over a minute left to play and saw that they ended up winning, and that was surprising to me.
I heard that from numerous different people throughout the course of the evening and the weekend after that. First shot of the game is up by Rysdam. That's up and no good. That shot was taken by Morgan Rysdam. Olivia Heikus into the corner. It goes on the far side for Aaron Zimpel. Ball inside, up and good, and the Bombers lead it now on their first bucket of the game. Bombers, Aaron Zimpel, Madison Davis, Olivia Heikus, Nicole Duvernay, and, of course, the aforementioned Morgan Rysdam. 3 on the way by Ogilvie. That's up and no good. Rebound down to the Bombers. Quickly up ahead, Rysdam. Inside it goes. Heikus with a shot. That's no good. Deflected possibly by Arnold. Rebound comes down to Naring. Starting 5 for the Lions are going to be Addison Reed, Lexi Naring, Ruby Byer, Cadence Pierce, and Amelia Arnold. Ball on the far side. Byer tries to drive inside. Pickpocketed from behind. Knocked away. Rysdam up ahead. It goes for Zimpel. Can't get it to go. Rysdam with the offensive board. That won't go. Rebound grab by Davis, and she goes flat to the ground. But she's just looking around, and everything's fine. But it's going to be a travel as she lands on the ground and kind of moved around a little bit. Now it's kind of close. Usually you have a little bit of leeway when you hit the ground, as long as you don't start rolling around or moving.
Yeah, what really caused that call was she wasn't really pushed by any sort. But if you fall down, technically that's a travel.
Ball's going to be brought up by Cadence Pierce, moving from right to left, away from us in the corner here at the gym in Hinckley, towards the entrance end of the gym at the Jaguar Gymnasium. Alexis Reed through, and she traveled with it. I think she wanted to pass to Arnold, but it wasn't there. She tried to pick it up, but her feet were still moving, and then did kind of a half dribble, half pass, and you're going to get called if they have 3 officials and one right in front of you like that.
Ogilvie's offense seems a little out of sync here in the early going.
Rysdam up top, dribbles to the top of the key. Now handoff up top for Heikus. Over to the near side, Davis. Davis, 3 on the way. Back iron, no good. Rebound tapped around. Out of bounds. Ogilvie basketball on the team rebound. Good looking 3 as Ogilvie kind of laid back on that one, and Madison Davis not afraid to fire that one away.
No, which is good. I like when shooters shoot.
Ogilvie now bringing the ball up from the backcourt. Braham putting on a little bit of a full court man-to-man, woman-to-woman. Not really a trapping press, but looking to just put some pressure on it. Byer trying to direct traffic, but nobody moving. Pierce now in the corner gets it just before the 5-second call. Ball thrown up top now for Naring. Naring working on Duvernay. Gets it back to the high post, but had it pickpocketed by Zimpel from behind. That help side defense drifting off. Able to come away with that. Nice pass by Davis inside. The pass was to Davis. It was too high, and before she fell out of bounds, she tossed it back in for Olivia Heikus.
Really good athleticism. by Madison Davis to get that to Hikus. But a foul is going to be called on Madison Davis.
15:39 to go. 4-0 is the lead for the Braham Bombers. Ogilvie in their home black uniforms, white numerals, orange trim. Braham Bombers in their road whites, blue numerals and trim. Probably some gold trim in there. Inside it goes now for Naring. Triple team there. Out for Pierce for three. Got it to go.
Big shot by Cadence Pierce to get the Lions on the board.
Cadence Pierce, kind of the engine that makes it go right now for the Ogilvie Lions. Steals that ball. Lob pass was going inside for Duvernay. And Pierce just sniffed it out and drifted across on the double team. Now back into the front court. Low block. That shot is up. Front iron no good, and it'll come down for Davis. Naring was in the area, but she was on the ground. Couldn't quite come up with it from there. Ball inside for Hikus. Bodied up by Arnold. Little turnaround baby hook inside. That's a tough assignment there for Amelia Arnold. Senior player and one of the longtime stalwarts of this squad, but gives up probably about 6-7 inches to Olivia Hikus.
Hikus did a really good job of just sealing off her defender. She got in the lane pretty early and was able to keep body position.
Byer inside for Naring. Back out for Byer. Partially blocked by Davis. Duvernay will come down with the rebound, and it'll be off for Davis to start things back up. 6-3 Braham leads back on offense. Screen and roll on the far wing. Off it comes for Duvernay on the near side. Fires it underneath. Zimpel got herself free. She just kind of snuck down low. There was 4 players on that perimeter near the top of the key, and everybody got kind of sucked up on defense, and Zimpel finding that soft spot.
Erin Zimpel quietly does a good job of getting in good position as that three by Cadence Pierce goes down.
Pierce came off for probably about 15 seconds in the game against Uppsala the other night. Expect more of the same tonight. Risedam off for Hikus. Now near side for Davis. Davis cuts the other direction. Shot is up off the side of the basket, but foul. Foul is going to be called on Amelia Arnold as Aaliyah Robine and Bethany Besser get set to check in for the Lions. First foul of the game will be a shooting foul, and at the line goes Davis. Free throws up and good, and it's a 9-6 lead on the start for the Bombers. Robine, as I mentioned, the kind of spark plug that really got things going the other night, has kind of been asked to step into some of that scoring role as she gets the ball and quickly dribbles up into the front court, dribbles away for some traffic. Crossover to the far side wing. Now into the corner goes for Naring. Watched by Duvernay. Back for Robine on the wing. Robine deep beyond the arc. Didn't really have a shot there. Now hands off for Pierce. Pierce is going to shoot it from basically anywhere. Where's that logo? That's that far back? Okay, I'll shoot it from there. But good defense by Risedam, just on the ball in her face. And a crossover dribble goes off of Pierce's foot and dribbles out of bounds. It'll be a turnover on the Lions.
With Cadence Pierce, you don't want her to get comfortable at all offensively.
Risedam is going to draw that tough matchup, and the Risedam sisters definitely kind of gritty players for this Braham Bomber squad. Ball inside and a little backhand layup on the reverse layup by Erin Zimpel.
Erin Zimpel sneaks down below the basket once again.
Up top, Robine lost a handle on it, otherwise she would have fired away a three. Three's going to come anyway on the far side by Ogilvie. Ball thrown up ahead on the rebound. And Davis somehow got herself all the way underneath the basket, but was able to get the ball up off the backboard.
Talk about
that bucket.
Talk about incredible vision by Morgan Risedam after that rebound.
Robine back with it. Reverse layup. That's up and no good. Rebound poked away by Naring. Zimpel had good position on it, and Robine just poked it away from her, but she touched it last. Into the ball game now is going to be the other Risedam. That's Alex Risedam. Risedam, Duvernay, Zimpel, and Davis, your starting five for the Bombers right now. Pierce almost knocked the ball away from Morgan Risedam. Ball over to the far side now for Davis. Davis, she'll fire away a three as she got a screen, rattled its way in and then back out again, and Naring clears the board. Naring back with it, sets up at the top of the key. Now across for Pierce. Pierce again, watched by Risedam. It's going to be a fun matchup all night long. She drives to the basket, got a screen on the way, can't get it to go. Rebound tapped around, and Risedam comes away with it. Quickly up ahead, it goes for Alex Rysdam. Hands off for Morgan Rysdam. Thought about a three, but pass it up for Davis in lieu of resetting the offense.
That was the right decision by Alex Rysdam. Braham didn't have numbers.
Three by Zimpel. That's up and no good. Rebound torn down, though, by Duvernay. Morgan Rysdam with the shot on the baseline, no good. Alex Rysdam with the rebound. Kicks it back up top for Duvernay. Resetting again now for Braham. Alex Rysdam flips it inside on the screen and roll for Zimpel. Flip back out to the perimeter. Now Duvernay far side on the wing. Up top of the key. Three on the way for Alex Rysdam. And nails that one, and Coach Daryl Addix is going to take a timeout. 11:27 to go in the first half. Braham has opened up an 11-point lead. We'll be back on FM 100.9 WCMP.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for bulk baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Here's the pitch, batting cage in North Branch. I've actually been there a couple of times. I was going to go there last night, but plans kind of fell apart a little bit. But going to try to get there this weekend as the weather's this nice. Why wouldn't we go take some cuts in the cage?
What winter?
Exactly.
Beaver Creek Meadows Center opening tomorrow.
There we go. I got to dial that up. I need to get more of those out here. I missed a couple of those the other night.
Full court press, trapping press.
Ball knocked away, and Rysdam says that she knocked it off of somebody else, but the call is going to be Ogilvie basketball. So ball was knocked away, but not really a full turnover. As Ogilvie looks to bring it back up court now. Shot is up and good, and Ogilvie, good timeout taken as they're able to kind of stem that tide. And Robine scores to cut that now back to a 9-point lead. Little runner in the lane by Alex Rysdam. And for whatever reason, it seems like Alex Rysdam doesn't make hard cuts and dramatic moves, but then all of a sudden she's got nobody within 5 feet of her. Ball knocked away by Robine, or from Robine, I should say, by Davis. But it'll belong to Ogilvie as Beyer returns for the Lions.
Braham on a 9-2 run right now.
In comes into the corner. Three on the way. Cadence Pierce knocks it down.
The Lions needed that.
And right now it is 9 points for Pierce on threes. But Alex Rysdam off the bench is absolutely tearing things apart on the other side. Now a foul as Robine tried to split the defense, and she went sliding face first into the free throw line. We were talking about the batting cage, but it's not quite baseball season or softball season just yet. I think she was safe with that slide, but
Madison Davis being subbed out by her sister Emily. Heikes also back in for the Bombers.
Rysdam, Zimpel, Davis, Emily Davis this time, and Heikes for Braham up top. Hand out for Robine. Robine looking for a screen from Beyer on the far side. Dribbled into the corner and going to get called for a double dribble. It looked like she dribbled it a little high. So I think that's probably where that came from, right in front of Coach Loy and the Braham bench. Davis ahead it comes for Rysdam. Open for three. And Rysdam again buries another shot. And now a full timeout taken by Coach Daryl Addix and the Ogilvie Lions, as Rysdam off the bench has been just tremendous here in this early going for the Braham Bombers.
Rysdam has come alive here in these playoffs, and it's really good to see. She's one of those players that throughout the season, I did a lot of Braham games since I live in Braham, and I saw a lot of this Braham Bomber squad, and Alex Rysdam does a lot of the dirty work. She's able to sneak in there, get some rebounds. She's much smaller than the players that she's getting rebounds against, but it's nice to see that she's able to get her flowers here in the playoffs, doing so well. She already has 10 points here in the first half.
And she's one of those players that we talked a little bit during the pregame that, like, you need that confidence. You're going to go ahead and take that shot. If the shot is there, take that shot and make sure that you're smart about it, of course, And we've already seen that a couple of times where there was a ball that was on the far side. You even pointed out that was a good no shot on that one by Morgan Rysdam that time. Smart players on both sides of the ball, and that's kind of what's happening tonight, but nobody's shy about going after it or being aggressive.
Right, and you want your good teams to have their confidence going right, because one of the most heartbreaking things that I see all the time is when good offensive players lose their confidence and they start passing up on shots, passing up on nice passes.
Ogilvie with the basketball, now 24-11, a 13-point lead as Cadence Pierce dribbles into the front court, but was double-teamed the entire way. Robine jumping up and down on the other side of the court as she was wide open. Ball knocked away, though, by Braham. Emily Davis back with it, off to the baseline for Rysdam. Up top, wide open Olivia Hikes can't get it to go. Rebound torn down by Pierce as she was kind of over the back a little bit, but the over the back is more of a push foul, but she did a good job just using her height to snatch that one away. Foul on the other end on the run out.
Another Braham foul. This time it's going to be on Morgan Rysdam, just her first, team's third. So Braham only has 3 fouls, Ogilvie just the 1. So the officials are letting these players play. Both these teams aren't afraid of getting physical.
Inside it goes Robine, shot up off the window. That's no good. Offensive rebound comes down to Byer, though, but she's double-teamed underneath, trying to throw it away, and it ends up in the hands of Zimpel. Zimpel on the run-out, layup, no good, but Hikes with the offensive rebound. Kicks that back out for Rysdam. Up top now for Davis. Back inside it goes. Turnaround, little flip shot by Hikes. That's no good, and Besser with the rebound. Crossover by Pierce from the wing. Hands off now for Arnold. Arnold hands off up top for Robine. Robine dribbles her way inside, trying to go to the basket, has it swatted away by Hikes.
Now Braham has a 5-on-4 opportunity.
Ahead it comes in. Alex Rysdam, again, I mentioned it before, somehow just finds herself with nobody near her, even though she's already got 12 points, just nobody around her as we have a foul. Now Rysdam trying to knock the ball away on the far side from Byer, commits the foul on that far edge.
It's the first foul on Rysdam, team's 4th.
Slew of players coming in, including Avery Schockman for the Braham Bombers and Naring and Reed for the Lions. So Naring, Reed, Robine, Byer, and Pierce for the Lions. And on the other side for the Bombers, Schockman, Rysdam, Hikes, and Davis. Ball over to the near side now. Reed into the front court. Double team comes. Up top it goes. Inside quickly for Byer, and she's fouled going to the basket. And Emily Davis tried to just reach in and just knock that ball away. Kind of went for the ball, but just got her on the arm as she's trying to reach in there.
Oh, it was on Emily Davis. I marked it down for Morgan Rysdam. But just the first on Davis. Team's 5th.
In it comes for Robine. Far side on the perimeter. Works to the top, the high post. Now near side on the wing for Pierce. Pierce working on Rysdam, hands off for Reed. Reed kicks it out for Robine. 3 from the corner. That one's going to be deep. Missed everything, and it comes down for Hikes. Braham Bombers moving from left to right towards us here in the corner on the second level of the Jaguar Gymnasium in Hinckley. Ball taken away by Robine, though, as Schockman was trying to work towards the basket. Robine the other direction, got it to go, but she slides into the stands. She knocked that shot down, but she was kind of falling forward a little bit and went sliding hard into that first little half-step level as one-time Great River Conference Athletic Trainer of the Year, Heidi Duong, as announced by Adam and myself.
Right. No, I was really
over there, but
I was really impressed with Robine there. She took a shot that didn't look like it was the best shot at the time, and she responded here on the defensive end, getting the steal, going down, getting the layup. Great response by Robine.
She'll come off and be checked on by some of the Ogilvie coaching staff, and you see the senior Grace Hines not playing, moving right up there to be able to talk to her as well. That's senior leadership that you get even from an injured player. As Braham will come back with it now. Schockman inside, right to the basket, but can't get it to go. A little short on the lay-in. Pierce almost had it knocked away, and I think she lost it herself. She was trying to kind of push it back between her legs to get it behind her as both Davis and Rysdam were really pressing on her. and I think it just kind of squirted out of her hands and bounced out of bounds.
This Bomber D press has given a lot of teams a lot of trouble.
Little spin move action in the paint. Nicole Duvernay with a drop step and a little fadeaway in the paint, up and good, and it's 28-13 in favor of the Bombers. 7.5 to play here, first half. Naring back with it. Up top it goes for Pierce. Pierce working on Rysdam. Crossover, gets to the free throw line. Little runner up off the window, no good. Rebound, Duvernay, and Pierce tied up with it. Duvernay did everything she could to try to rip that ball away.
Pierce fighting hard here in the first half. The Lions as a whole are fighting hard.
Robine checks back into the game now as Byer heads off. Ogilvie really only goes 7 players deep. Ball inbound, knocked away, and it's going to be taken away by Schockman. Schockman surveys, drives to the basket, up and good. And Reed fell down on it, but I think she was more so expecting the contact, and it never came.
Schockman is very speedy off the bench.
Pierce breaks that press herself, now drives to the basket. Lost it on the way through, though. Tried to gather it back up, but kicked it out of bounds. And now for Ogilvie, really it's just kind of like the silly turnovers that they're having. It's not, Braham is putting on good defense. I don't want to deny that at all, but Ogilvie's kind of almost pressing a little too hard.
Right, and this is a very important set of possessions for Ogilvie. Do they hold steady? Do they make up ground, or do they fall behind?
Ball inside, and Davis can't get it to go. Rebound comes down to the Lions.
That's a very good sign for the Lions. Good defensive possession for them.
Forced kind of a tough shot. Doesn't go, and they get the rebound. That's a good start there. Robine up top, gets to the free throw line, kicks it out. Besser for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound bounced on the top of the backboard, but it's allowed to do that, and it comes down for the Bombers. Didn't hit the tape. There is no tape. It's just a structure up there. Now Schockman drives the other direction. That's up off the window. She was able to get that first step on Reed and got to the basket. And that's that aggressive play we talked about, that nobody's shy about making that play. Pierce back with it, tries to throw it across for Besser, deflected away by Duvernay. It'll remain Lion basketball, but it was knocked away on a 2-on-1.
Avery Schockman has made big growths over this past season. She is much better than she was last season.
Ogilvie the inbound on the baseline. In it comes now for Naring. Naring working on Heikes. Hands off for Robine. Near side on the wing. Dribbles top of the key, then back. Now hands off into the corner for Pierce. Pierce working on a 4 call. Picks the ball up. And when she spins, she kind of spun into a double team, but got bailed out a little bit on a little bit of contact.
And if that's on Morgan Rysam, that's going to be her second.
I think it might actually be on Zimpel drifting.
It is on Zimpel. Just her first.
Drifting on a little help side from the corner, and I think that kind of really bailed out because I thought Rysam played really good defense on that reverse pivot there. And it comes Besser for 3, and it's
really
good.
Good find. Really good find by the inbounder.
Missed the last one, but made this one. But good possessions both times for the Lions. Ball handed off now for Duvernay. Now over to the near side. Ball fake by Rysdam. Dribbles inside. Swatted away by Pierce. But it comes right back for Braham. Another shot by Schockman. Missed the first, but made the second.
Schockman with 2 offensive rebounds.
That's one of those ooh, and everybody gets excited about the rejection, but you got to go after the ball. Schockman takes it away, and the bounce pass for Rysdam is knocked away by Byer.
So Avery Schockman with 6 points off the bench, and she just got that steal. So she's making some moves here off the bench as well.
Heikes with the inbound on the baseline. In it comes Rysdam. Morgan Rysdam steps back to the perimeter. Now up top for Heikes. Quickly watched there by Byer. Back it comes Schockman. Schockman, I think she kind of had nowhere to go with that shot. Rebound came down off the side of the rim for Zimpel, and Besser kind of tied up. Goes out of bounds. Last touched by Zimpel. But I think Schockman thought it was going to open up in front of her a little bit more, but the defense closed down on her. Inbounds comes now for Besser. Now off for Byer on the deflection, but Ogilvie able to break that press. Up top it goes now for Pierce. Just stopped in her tracks and fired away a 3, but can't get it to go. Duvernay with the rebound.
Those are the kind of shots that need to go down if you're Ogilvie.
34-16 as Braham on the verge of taking a 20-point lead here in the first half. High arcing shot by Rysdam. That's up and no good. Pierce gets the rebound, but I think that Rysdam, who is fighting for that rebound, is going to get tagged with her second foul.
She is. That's going to be her second foul. She's going to go take a seat on the bench. Looks like Alex Rysdam and Emily Davis getting set to check in for Braham. But I think what's important is Madison Davis went to the bench with about 10 minutes left to go in the first half, and she's been able to sit on the bench because the bench has really shown up here tonight and allowed her to kind of hold that seat and hold those 2 fouls.
What Emily Davis and Avery Schockman have been able to bring to the table off the bench for this Braham Bombers squad is really changing the tide of this game. Free throw on the 1-and-1. That's up and no good. Rebound is slapped out of bounds. That was that same kind of play where Besser kind of slapped it away from Duvernay. Last time it was Ogilvie, or it was a Braham ball. This time it's Ogilvie ball. Usually you see it go the other direction just because of the nature of where it is.
Right.
In the corner goes Byer for 3. Knocked that one down.
Big shot by Byer.
And Ogilvie says we're not going away yet.
Cuts the lead to 15.
Braham rushes it into the front court. Underneath it goes Alex Rysdam. Kicks it back up top for Duvernay. Duvernay to the free throw line. Now into the corner it goes Zippel. Back inside for Duvernay. Duvernay, a tough shot up off the window. Able to get it to go.
Pierce gets a screen.
Inside it goes. Lost the ball. With 4:01 to play here in the first half, Ogilvie will have a baseline inbound. Byer to pull the trigger. Lobs in for Robine up top. Working on Alex Rysdam. Gets to the paint. Shot is up and an offensive foul. That's a good call, as Robine, I think, was expecting a little bit more movement by Emily Davis, and she just stood her ground where she wasn't even really help side defending. She was defending her own person, and Robine just kind of ran into her. And now Robine is kind of a little bit woozy and a little bit wobbly. She kind of hit her head when she came down. And, of course, immediate concern, as I don't think the official had even blown the whistle, as she was kind of wobbling a little bit and it went to her knees. But training staff went running onto the court before they even really blew the whistle. So we'll step away as they tend to her. 36-19 with 3:54 to go in the first half. We'll be back here to Hinckley on WCMP.
Arrowhead Transit plays a pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops, and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection,
Untangling your headphones,
community,
finding the right
Arrowhead
remote,
Transit.
saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Visit Town & Country Insurance today at townandcountry-ins.com or stop in our offices in Finlayson, Hinckley, and Mora.
Hey girl, good to see you. You look great. What are you doing?
Oh, thanks. Been watching what I eat, like eating fresh.
Sounds awesome, but how do you do that living around here?
Chris's Food Center in Sandstone.
Chris's Food Center in Sandstone?
Yep, Chris's Food Center has top quality produce and meats, which helps me to buy fresh ingredients for me and my family.
Find Chris's Food Center online to view their weekly ads at chrisfoodcenter.com. Eat better, buy more, and spend less at Chris's Food Center in Sandstone. Open 7 days a week.
Aurelius Manufacturing has been providing innovative solutions to customers since 1926. Specializing in the production of custom welded hydraulic cylinders for over 40 years, our focus is on providing value to customers through innovative problem solving, quality workmanship, and customer service. Our team works with your team to develop designs that provide the most value for your application. We leverage technology and craftsmanship, turning designs into finished products quickly and accurately. Aurelius Manufacturing is a proud sponsor of the Braham Bombers.
FM 100.9 WCMP. Aaliyah Robine helped off the court, but up and acknowledging the crowd a little bit as the Ogilvie Lions take the ball away on the defensive possession and bring it back the other direction. Arnold, she'll fire away a three. Back iron just missed. Rebound comes down to Davis. Quickly up ahead it goes Alex Rysdam looking for the run out. partially deflected maybe by Pierce, but the rebound comes down nonetheless to Davis. Duvernay into the corner goes. Zimpel for three, knocked that one down. A good sequence for the Braham Bombers there, but right now a lot of the concern, though, is headed to the locker room with Aaliyah Robine.
Right. We'll see how Ogilvie responds here.
Into the corner goes for Pierce. Three on the way. That one's off the mark. Alex Rysdam with the rebound. And Rysdam will bring the ball up court and get things set for the Bombers. Near side, Emily Davis. Everybody's laid back a little bit. Swing it around the perimeter. Wide open. Shockman. She'll fire away that three. That's no good. Rebound tapped around and knocked out of bounds by Byer. It'll belong to the Bombers on the baseline.
The lead is 20 now with just under 3 minutes left to go in the first half. And we'll see how Ogilvie finishes this half.
The inbounds comes for Alex Rysdam. Ball inside, taken away there by Pierce. Pierce runs the fast break the other direction, and layup is good. Good job by, I really like what Alex Rysdam did there. Didn't commit a foul, but she got back quickly and set up to try to affect the play, but set up for a charge as well.
Right. She knew the risks and reward of what she was doing.
And a great job by Pierce to be able to move around that and get the lay-in. Ball inside, and Duvernay with a nice move in the paint. Get that one up off the window and put it back to a 20-point lead, 41-21 here in the first half. Step back three. Pierce, who has been on fire tonight, and Ogilvie has needed her to be.
Pierce with 14.
One. Ball over to the near side for Rysdam. Into the corner goes Zimpel, open for three. Just hit one. Back iron, no good. Rebound comes down for Emily Davis. Crossover dribble, drives inside. A little bit of contact. Rebound torn down by Zimpel. Kicked out for Rysdam. Thought about a three, passed over for Shockman. Drives inside, lost the ball on the way though. And a jump ball is going to be called between Pierce and Shockman.
So 9 seconds on the shot clock, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Inbound on the baseline, and Coach Loy is going to take a timeout for the Braham Bombers. 110 seconds remain here in the first half. We talked about closing the half with a couple of good possessions for the Ogilvie Lions, and they're going to need, it's going to start here with a good defensive stop, but what are they going to be able to have here kind of working for the remainder of the half and into the second half?
I think you got to run through Cadence Pierce. She's been your biggest weapon so far. 14 of the 24 points have been to Cadence Pierce. So I think you really need to continue doing a good job defensively. Braham has just been playing really well and really efficiently on the offensive end. If they're going to get this play from the bench players, look out, because they were a good team before they got this kind of production from their bench.
For Ogilvie, I feel like you almost need a little bit more from Lex Naring. She's been their kind of gritty player that does all the little things, gets the offensive rebounds, takes the charge, plays good defense, things like that. But they're going to need her to step up into a little bit of a scoring role here in this end of this period, and then in the second half as a three from the corner is up and no good. For Braham, same thing. Like you said, just keep playing the way they're playing, especially the way the bench production is having. Having that confidence is just huge for them. Now the ball's stolen away. Pierce with a crossover. Emily Davis took it away. And on the other direction, Pierce tried to undercut her and kind of go through the ball a little bit, but got a little bit of a body contact. Pierce doesn't think so, but there was a little bit of body contact. Davis spun to the ground, and it's going to be a foul on the other side.
Just a third foul on Ogilvie.
And that's not a great sign here, as now they are asking for family members of the Robines. So now the officials kind of waiting this out a little bit, and kind of a collective hush for everybody waiting for word of anything coming from the locker room, really, which I don't think will necessarily come out for us, but nonetheless is kind of what the concern is now assistant coach Nichols heads to the locker room as well. And this is going to be tough for even the Ogilvie Lion players, that you see something like that happen and developing and then have to go out there and continue playing. Three by Heikes. That's up and no good. Rebound to the corner. and it'll be Braham basketball. And a good job by Arnold.
Yeah,
just kind
smart
of
play by
boxing
Arnold.
out. Sometimes, we've talked about this numerous times, you and me, a box out doesn't mean you get the rebound. It means that the other player didn't.
Right. And on a rebound like that, it's just as important.
And it comes now for the Lions. Reed to the top of the key. Over to the near side now for Arnold on the wing. Arnold to the top of the key, hands off for Naring. Naring crossover, working on Duvernay. Got to the high post, kicks it back out. Arnold for three. Knocks that one down with 1:05 to go. It's 41-27. Back it'll come. Three for Zimpel to answer. No good, but a foul underneath. And I believe it's going to be on Hikus. And now, granted, it is still the first half, but for Ogilvie, it's almost kind of now you get a chance to score points with the clock stopped.
Right, and it really end this half really well. It was a 20-point lead there at one point. And now number 15, Lexi Nearing, has a chance to cut this lead to maybe even 12.
And I think that's almost got to be the goal for the Ogilvie sideline right now. It's like, just chip away. You can't eat the elephant all at once. First free throw, no good, though, and rebound comes down for Hikus. Under a minute to play now here, first half, 41-27. Duvernay far side on the wing, guarded by Byer. Skip pass over to the near side. Three on the way by Rysdam, no good. Long rebound, though, came out for Hikus. Up top for Duvernay for three. That one's good. And Duvernay, for as good a footwork and interior touch she shows, is not afraid for throwing it up from downtown.
She isn't. She's a very versatile player.
Reed to the high post, flips it out for Pierce on the near side with 30 seconds to play in the first half. Pierce crossover, lost it, got it back. Dribbles baseline, jumper. That one's partially blocked. Rebound tied up underneath is going to be a jump ball between Ruby Byer and Alex Rysdam. It'll belong to the Lions on the baseline.
20 seconds left to go here in this first half. Braham up 44-27.
Inbounds comes Reed. Try to get that one in for Pierce. Little contact went down, but is able to skip that one back out for Arnold. Punched back out now for Naring, and a travel as Naring, I think it was kind of trying to move one direction and spin back and forth on her pivot foot, and gets called for moving it just a little bit. 10 seconds remaining to Duvernay now at high post. Kick it back out. Emily Davis for a deep three. Front iron, and it rolls over the top and is good. And Pierce never took a peek at the clock as she was coming up court. She had one of those long Caitlin Clark type of threes in her view, but never stopped to pull up and knock that shot down. Ends up dribbling the clock out. 47-27 as we reach the halftime break here between Ogilvie and Braham in Hinckley. Halftime score, Braham leads it by 20. We'll come back and wrap up the first half of play on FM 100.9 WCMP.
AOML. BRB. B4N. Period 02. BF. 143. AAK. 1 AM. Apostrophe S apostrophe.
These are two teenage girls texting each other, and we have no idea what they're saying either. Maybe the WCMP deals guy can translate.
This week, grab your tickets to the new Wrangler Stampede Rodeo. 3 options to choose from. BEG. Big Evil Grin.
No, I don't think that's what they were saying at all. But find these and other great deals at WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com.
Jeff's Auto and Tires in Ogilvie will never make up diagnostics to make an extra buck. Jeff's Auto and Tires will do the service that you actually need. Jeff's Auto and Tires is an honest, dependable service center that's reliable and affordable when it comes to oil changes, batteries, tires, and so much more. Let Jeff's Auto and Tires in Ogilvie provide you with a higher standard of care for your vehicle. Call Jeff today for your next car service or tire problems at 320-980-1122.
This can be the loneliest sound, and it's never the right time. Car in the ditch, you standing by the side of the road. Thank goodness Hinckley Towing is on the way. 24-hour service, experienced drivers, and state-of-the-art trucks. Put their number in your phone before you need it. Hinckley Towing, 320-385-4049. 320-385-4049.
Elmhurst Commons in Braham, a leading provider of senior living, is committed to providing quality care. Full apartments ranging from 566 to 941 square feet. Free cable includes 73 channels. Electric, heat, water, and sewer are also included, taking private pay and GRH renters, accepting EW and CAD waivers. For more information, please contact Angel Kaler, Housing Manager at 320-396-0440.
Hi, this is Sarah from Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Do you know about our propane customer referral program? It's simple and rewarding. Refer a qualified new Burnett Dairy propane customer and you'll receive a $100 credit to your account. Terms and conditions apply. Call 715-689-1032 for details and follow our Burnett Dairy General Store Facebook page. Share the warmth with Burnett Dairy, your trusted propane partner.
At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well at every age and every stage. If you've been busy taking care of everything else but neglecting your own personal health, don't let another year go by without making yourself a priority. Get an annual checkup. Please schedule an appointment at Wellia Health today. Call us at 320
A jewelry store.
679
Nada.
Then it's a thrift store?
Nada. A pawn shop. Nada. Another man's treasure is not a lot of things. What it is a place to find gently used power tools, hand tools, tires, fishing and hunting gear, motocross gear, and a ton of other cool stuff. Stop by and sell your gently used items, or buy something at a fraction of the price of buying it new. Another man's treasure in Becker, Princeton, East Bethel, Rice Lake, Wisconsin, or North Branch. Or visit Another Man's Treasure on Facebook and see what came in today.
FM 100.9 WCMP, Andy Beckstrom on hand here in Hinckley at the Jaguar Gymnasium. Joined with Adam Hefty, trying not to say alongside. Copyright. Copyright, got to have that in there. During the 5A East subsection final between the Ogilvie Lions and the Braham Bombers. Braham Bombers lead it at halftime, 47-27 after one half of play. And Adam, we talked about Ogilvie needing to finish strong at the end of the half. They were trending that way. They had a chance to cut it, I believe, with free throws to 12, and they didn't hit that free throw, and it just kind of, Braham took that and really rushed the other direction with it.
And it's not so much that Ogilvie is playing poorly. I think they're playing relatively well. It's just this is the best basketball I've seen the Bomber girls play all season. For every run that Ogilvie has made, every single one, Braham has had a response. They cut the lead to 14. Braham comes down and hits 2 threes in a row by Duvernay and Emily Davis. And that's kind of been this first half in a nutshell, just with how well Braham has been playing. Ogilvie has been playing really well. You get 14 from Cadence Pierce, and she's been playing really well, along with the rest of them, especially defensively. It's just Braham has been just playing out of their minds.
Really, in my mind, I guess what I kind of think the difference in the ball game is, obviously a little bit of depth and bench scoring, kind of like we talked about during the pregame, but it's the turnovers, I think, is probably, in my mind. Braham has played pretty good defensively, but they've taken advantage of basically every turnover Ogilvie has had. Every time they turn the ball over, they're able to get a fast break going and maintain possession, or get a fast break run out. They're taking advantage of that. The other turnovers that Ogilvie has had haven't really been necessarily because of the Braham defense. It has just been the ball kicked out of bounds or dribbled up a foot. It's been kind of silly mistakes that Ogilvie has made that they got to try to clean up on their side as well.
Braham lives on transition offense. They like to turn the ball over and turn it into numbers on the offensive end. That's not the case tonight. They are getting points off of turnovers, but it's not the same way. They're getting it in the offensive or in the half court set, which is somewhat new over this past season.
And really, I will credit to that point. Braham does pretty good being able to rush down the court, but Ogilvie's done a pretty good job getting back.
Absolutely.
Which is something they kind of struggled a little bit the other night against Uppsala. They weren't getting back quite as quick. So I don't know if it's just the experience of playing the same team now a third time, but that's got to be a factor that they know that they're getting back.
Right. They know who Braham is. They play him twice, maybe 3 times a year. This was a subsection final 2 years ago as well. So Ogilvie really knows Braham very well. I do have a few stats if you'd like me to, just scoring stats.
Carry on.
If I can speak on the mic.
Carry on, my wayward friend.
Leading the way for the Ogilvie Lions with 14 points is Cadence Pierce. 4 points from Aaliyah Robine. 3 points apiece also by Bethany Besser, Amelia Arnold, and Ruby Byer. Leading the way for the Braham Bombers with 12 points was Alex Rysdam. That's off the bench. Duvernay having 11 points. 7 points from Aaron Zimpel. 6 from Avery Schockman. 4 points from Madison Davis, who spent a lot of time on the bench with 2 fouls, but it didn't really hurt Braham all that much there in that first half, as the bench really played very well enough to allow her to sit with those 2 fouls. And then 3 points were added by Emily Davis there with a 3 at the end of the first half.
Absolutely, and that's, I think, one of the maybe kind of underrated things to a certain extent. We talked about the bench depth and what Braham's been able to get off the bench, but really that's almost kind of a benefit that Coach Loy has somewhat unanticipated that he's been able to get tonight, was have one of your solid starters end up with some foul trouble, but it's okay. I'll just leave her there on the bench. You don't need to try to. You see it sometimes when you start struggling, you try to rush somebody back in. Then they get a cheap third foul, and then they really get into foul trouble. But they have not needed that extra boost off the bench because the bench itself has really given that boost. You didn't need to bring her back at all. When you get 20 points off the bench of your 47, you can, let's let her sit there for another minute. It's okay, which is going to help you 2 ways. Not only foul trouble, but also now you have one of your stars with fresh legs for a second half.
And for a third way, you're giving your younger players some, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my
experience.
God. There it is.
Experience.
Yeah, there it is.
The
Words
big
is hard.
experience.
Yeah, and that's really important here in the playoffs as well, because this gym is packed. This is a playoff atmosphere.
And it's only going to get bigger from here as we move to Hallenbeck Hall on the campus of St. Cloud State for the Section 5A championship. That'll be later on to be decided between Walker Hackensack, Akeley / Nevis, and then the 2 that are playing tonight. We did get an update. Walker Hackensack Akeley was leading in that game 35-29 at last check. We'll kind of keep an eye on that as well, as one of our local teams, one way or the other, is going to be traveling west to St. Cloud for that game. Want to remind you, your local gardening MVP, Beaver Meadow Garden Center, will open for the 2024 season on March 7th. Seeds, mulch, rock, and the experts will help you come up with this year's gardening game plan. Beaver Meadow Garden Center, I-35, just 1 exit south of Hinckley.
Yep, so we're about ready to start the second half. We'll take a little opportunity to rest our voices. We'll take a break. We'll be back after a word from one of our sponsors.
Kettle River Pizza, the handcrafted pizza made locally in Ask Cove, Minnesota. Always the highest quality ingredients. Pizza that is consistently great tasting. A true crowd pleaser. 16 varieties to choose from. Enjoy the classics like pepperoni, pepperoni sausage and supreme, to the unique tastes of hot Hawaiian, taco, buffalo chicken, and chicken Alfredo. Pick some up at your local grocer, tavern, or convenience store. Handcrafted Kettle River Pizza. Moms and basketball players approved.
FM 100.9 WCMP, Andy Beckstrom, Adam Hefty, getting set for the second half of play between Braham and Ogilvie. Braham leads at 47-27 after 1 half of play. 18 minutes for a subsection championship and an opportunity to fight for a state entry. Madison Davis back out on the court will start things. Aaron Zimpel, Morgan Rysdam, Nicole Duvernay, and Olivia Heikus, the normal starters for Braham. As Duvernay gets the first shot, front iron, and it bounces up, rolls over the front of the rim, and is up and good. Same starters on the other side for the Ogilvie Lions. We have not seen Robine come out of the locker room at all, so assumedly she is going to be done for the day, which she didn't look good when she had left, so I would assume she's probably not going to return. Pierce over to the near side, working on Rysdam, looking for a screen from Naring. Double team comes, and Pierce has to dribble away from that one. Fires over to the near side now for Byer. Byer tries to drive down the baseline and makes contact with Madison Davis. Davis goes sliding as she has a proclivity to end up on the ground more than just about anybody on the court. No complaints from her, though. She just, okay, that's a block. All right. Not a charge on that one, but she does pick up her third foul. So Alex Rysdam, the scoring star of the first half, I guess, to a certain extent, comes into the ball game. I think that high five with Davis as she came in was a little bit tough. You see her kind of flex her hand a little. Ball out for Naring. Naring to the free throw line. Kicks it back out for Arnold, but Arnold zigged when she was thinking zag. And the ball thrown into the front row of the student section.
Ogilvie coming out in the second half like they did in the first half. Just a little out of sync.
Into the wing on the near side for Rysdam. Alex Rysdam on the far side, now into the corner for Zimpel. Duvernay, quick touch pass underneath for Heikes. Her shot is up and no good. Rebound tapped around, and Reed is going to come away with the rebound. Tried to dribble away from traffic, dribbled it right into the hands of Morgan Rysdam. Back with it is Heikes. Her shot is blocked by Pierce, but then Pierce commits a foul before she can release another shot.
Late call. Heikes sort of gets bailed out there. Foul on Cadence Pierce, her second, team's first.
And to the free throw line, it'll go now for Heikes. Free throw is up and good. Haven't seen a lot of free throws in tonight's game. Most of the fouls in the first half were just off the ball or non-shooting fouls. Is that free throw up and good as well?
Heikes now has 6.
Back it'll come now for Byer. Into the corner goes for Naring. Naring crossover to the high post. Kicks it back out for Reed. Bounce pass for Byer. Byer to the free throw line. Shot is up. Back iron no good. Naring tears down the offensive board. Handed off for Pierce on the far side. Pierce jab step. Now works her way back. Now goes to the front of the rim. That one's flipped up towards the net. And a foul called on Duvernay. That was just a height situation more than anything, as Duvernay stepped up nicely and forced the shot, but just got her on the hand when she let go.
Cadence Pierce is one heck of an athlete.
Free throw by Pierce up and good.
Her first trip to the line tonight.
Cadence Pierce, one heck of an athlete, as you mentioned, just a sophomore for this Ogilvie squad. Second free throw up and good as well. 51-29. Rysdam into the corner for Heikes. Baseline jumper, that's up and good.
Just a long 2 on that one, but I'm really impressed with the Bombers' vision on the offensive end.
Pierce up top, surveys the defense, looking for a screen. Now dribbles left, high post, her shot is up and no good. May have been partially affected a little bit by Rysdam again, as the ball outletted quickly up ahead to Alex Rysdam. Shot by Heikes, that's up and no good. Long rebound comes over to the corner, knocked away, and Byer will come away with it. Byer looking to beat Duvernay to the other end, goes for the lay-in, and it's good.
Ogilvie not going away, still fighting.
You see the grit and grind there by Byer, just trying to dig a little deeper for some speed. Able to get down there. Morgan Rysdam for 3. And you think that's going to be a conversation later between the two sisters? Back it'll come now for Pierce, leading or trailing 56-31. Pierce spins away from a defender. Nowhere to go with it. Now hands off for Reed. Reed off for Byer, near side in the corner. Watched closely by Rysdam, and Rysdam knocks it away. Alex Rysdam ahead for Zimpel, and Zimpel will peel it off. Over to the far side wing. Up top it goes for Heikes. Over to the near side, Morgan Rysdam. Steps up, little mid-range jumper, that's no good. Alex Rysdam with the offensive board. Tried to sneak it across for Zimpel, but it was taken away by Naring. And a turnover on the Bombers. Naring pushing that pace all the way back up front. Goes up for the shot. And a little bodied up by Duvernay. Duvernay rejected the shot that Naring put up, but a little contact on the body.
So it's going to be her second, team's third.
And Naring will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Her first trip tonight.
Free throw's up and good. And again, Aaliyah Robine out for the remainder of this game, so Ogilvie might not substitute in the second half. Reed almost ran a fast break the wrong direction, but is able to slow it up. Inside it goes, and Byer is fouled when she goes up for a shot, so she's going to go to the free throw line. And every one of these opportunities now, all of the Ogilvie players taking that opportunity to just take a second to kind of slow things down a little bit.
Right, and they're able to score perhaps with the clock stopped.
Free throws up and no good off the back iron. 14:41 to go here. Second half of action. 56-32 is our score. Second free throw up and good by Ruby Byer. And Braham will come back with it. Braham moving from right to left towards the entrance end of the gym here in Hinckley. Reverse pivot initially cut off by Reed, but Duvernay able to just slow back and kind of fade away the other direction on her off foot and knocks down that jumper. Pierce inside, rolls it out to Naring. Now out for Arnold for a three. That's no good. Naring, with an offensive board. Out for Reed. Reed to the high post. Out for Arnold to the high post, and now off for Naring. Naring on the far side. Her jumper is up and good off the window. And that's something I talked about at halftime. Ogilvie's going to need her to try to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive side. Not really a shooting type of player, more of a scrappy type of player, but very, very good, and she does have that offensive skill.
Right, and she has 3 quick points here in the second half.
Inside it goes. Zimpel flips it off to the baseline for Rysdam. Out for Morgan Rysdam, and Morgan Rysdam hits a triple from deep.
And just when we were saying it there in that first at halftime, that every time Ogilvie starts to make a bit of a run, Braham has an answer.
Reed, top of the key, dribbles to the far side, hands off for Byer. Byer all the way through, got a screen nicely by Naring, and the defense just kind of went to the top there looking for that extra handoff, and ends up being an easy layup. Lead pass up ahead, too far for Duvernay, off of her hands and out of bounds.
Really good play design by Ogilvie to get that one, catching Braham's defense sleeping a little bit.
Byer will come back with it now, 61-37, as Braham leads by 24. Up for Pierce. Pierce slips away from Morgan Rysdam, dribbles to the high post, kicks it back out. Reed for three, and it's good.
Ogilvie not going away.
I'm really impressed with the fight that Ogilvie is showing. Short-handed, now 2 players, key players, down. Inside it goes. Morgan Rysdam can't get it to go, but gets her own offensive board. Back up for Heikes for 3. We'll trade the lay-in for the triple and add an extra point at the end of that one. 64-40 is the Braham lead. Byer spins back, now up top for Pierce, as Pierce will look to start the offense. Pierce gets a screen, step back 3. That one's going to be good. It went banked and rolled around the rim and then fell out and then back in again and is good. And that cuts that lead again to 21. And Ogilvie hanging around. They got to start chipping away a little bit more, but they're kind of hanging around. And you see maybe Coach Addix using his timeouts more as maybe a break.
Right. Just give them a little bit of a breather. 64-43, 12-18 left to play. But, I mean, every time Ogilvie has made some sort of run, Braham has just come back down and hit a 3. And that's got to be really deflating if you're Ogilvie.
Pierce and the rest of the crew trying to keep themselves in it here in this second half. 64-43 is the lead for Braham, and it doesn't feel like a 21-point game. It does feel very hard to be able to come back in this game if you're Ogilvie, but it doesn't feel like it still has that playoff atmosphere of a close game.
Ogilvie is just playing so hard. They're really being gritty here tonight, staying in this one.
No quit on the Lions sideline. Ball inside, and it's too far for Heikes and ends up being taken away by Reed, and a turnover by the Bombers. Chance for the Lions to be able to cut into that lead a little bit more. Hand it off for Byer up top. Dribbles all the way through. Gets to the low paint, and I don't know how she got that around the corner of the backboard. That's one of those trick shots in horse, but she's able to get it around there. Up and good. Makes it a 19-point ball game. Rysdam battles towards the rim on the other end, and she's fouled. Third foul on Cadence Pierce. And granted, we are in the second half with 11:50 to go, but 3 fouls is something to kind of keep your eye on for Cadence Pierce.
Ruby Byer with 7 second-half points, 10 overall.
Free throw up and no good on the first one by Morgan Rysdam. Second free throw, this one is good. Byer's been moved to a little bit more of a point guard type of role here in the ball game for this Lions squad, especially absent not only their main point guard in Grace Hines, as Arnold fires from three, and Amelia Arnold will not be denied. Up top, Heikes looking to answer and does. You mentioned it point blank, Adam, just a few moments ago. Every time there's a battle by Ogilvie, Braham right there with the answer. Pierce, near side, works on the wing, dribbles down to the low block. Extra help comes, spins away from it, shot is up, no good. Rebound comes down for Alex Rysdam. Running the fast break, little floater on the far side, that's up and no good. Rebound down to Morgan Rysdam. Hands off for Zimple, little scoop shot, can't get it to go. And the rebound going to come down to Naring. And for Ogilvie, you almost kind of want to slow it up a little bit on this possession and get a good offensive set.
Yeah, you're just going to lose your legs.
Out for Reed, now up top for Pierce. NBA three, that's going to be short and out of bounds. And I think Pierce, I don't know if she thought she was closer, but it wasn't really an in-rhythm shot and came up a little bit short on it. Not a bad shot, just I think she was a little bit deeper than I think what she thought she was. Rysdam back with it now on the change of possession. To the far side it goes now for Madison Davis. Up top for Heikes. Over to the near side, Emily Davis. She's open for three. May as well fire that one away. No good. Off the side of the iron, and the rebound comes down into the hands of Pierce. Chance of air ball to the leading scorer for Ogilvie. Drives inside, up off the window. That's no good, and the rebound comes down for Morgan Rysdam with 10 minutes to go here in the second half. Alex Rysdam flips it inside for Heikes. Got too deep on the basket, though. Swing around the ball on the perimeter. Beautiful ball movement there by Braham. Emily Davis, screen and roll. What a spin there by Heikes. Can't get it to go, though. Rebound torn down by Morgan Rysdam. Off for Madison Davis. She's going to miss everything, and Ogilvie's going to come away with it. Quickly up ahead it comes now for Arnold, and Arnold is fouled. But I got to go back to the other side. It was a play that didn't work because the shot was missed, but what a screen and roll ran on the other end with Olivia Heikes.
It was, and it's just a shame that it didn't fall, but Braham able to get the rebound when Morgan Rysdam just stole it from a Lion.
I think Besser had it, and Rysdam just took it away as Arnold knocks down the first free throw. Substitutions in as some different staffing changes, if you will, out there. Second free throw, back iron, no good. Rebound tapped around, ultimately down to Morgan Rysdam. Quickly up ahead it comes now for Schockman back into the game. Inside for Alex Rysdam. Ball is knocked away by Arnold, and she traveled on the far side. She was trying to reach out, wanted to get rid of that ball, but the pass just wasn't there, and she was losing her balance. Not much she could do.
Avery Schockman was open just a split second before Schockman saw her.
Lions go with Byer, Besser, Reed, Arnold, and Pierce as a shot is up by Byer, no good. Rebound comes down to the Bombers. Bombers going with Schockman, Rysdam, Heikes as a three by Emily Davis is up and good.
Emily Davis with 6.
71-49, Braham leads. Back it'll come. Arnold for three, just missed it, back iron. And the rebound torn down by Rysdam, but Besser hits the ground. And now we have another stoppage as Besser, looks like she hit her head as the training staff. This is the second time tonight, Adam, that we've seen this, and it's not something you ever want to see as players injured, but it's the second time tonight where we've seen some head injuries and training staff come onto the court even before the play is stopped, which credit to the training staff. I'm not saying it's a negative thing from that standpoint. Credit the training staff for nope, I care about the player. We're going to get them some help.
Yeah, these are all kids when it comes down to it, and it's just a game. So it's really important to make sure that everybody in this gym is safe.
8:56 to play here in the second half as Besser is up and sitting up now. And there's a much different feeling, and we see it with the NFL and different levels of sports, where I think we've all had that moment where you kind of, maybe land a little bit, or you kind of knock your head a little bit, and you get a little starry-eyed for a second. You're like, I'm fine, whatever, we'll move on. But there's a lot more focus on that. May be indicative of, like, we need to take a minute, and a lot more concern with that, which is an excellent thing that we've seen over the last handful of years. But
we know a lot more.
Yes.
When it comes to that. We don't know everything, but we know a lot more.
Want to mention for Beaver Meadow Garden Centers, winter, what winter? Since you're probably ready to get out into the garden, Beaver Meadow Garden Center will be opening for the season March 7th. Beaver Meadow Garden Center open beginning Thursday, March 7th. And by my math, even Malacca math, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Man, what winter?
My
Seriously.
Malacca math has done me well throughout the years. 8:56 to go here, second half of action from Hinckley at the Jaguar Gymnasium. Back it'll come now. Ruby Byer flips it over to the near side for Reed. Reed off for Byer. Near side on the wing. Dribbles to the low block. Kind of lost a spot. I think she might have traveled but got away with it. Inside it goes for Sophia Halverson with her first minutes of the game. And had it taken away from her by Rysdam. But then Braham turns the ball right back over to the Lions. As we talked about the depth being kind of an issue, and now with Besser coming off and being attended to by staff, has gone to the locker room as well, that now you start seeing Ogilvie just really doesn't have anywhere to turn. So like some of the players that really never play are getting an opportunity. Step back three, good by Pierce. Halverson got that offensive rebound and fired it back out. So good job there by Sophia Halverson, extending that possession, and then, of course, Pierce knocking that three down.
Cadence Pierce just trying to will her way to victory.
Inside it goes. Back out now for Emily Davis. Steps up to the free throw line. Kicks it back out for Schockman. Schockman had a wide open lane, went to the basket, and Halverson reached across and got her on the arm. I thought she had the ball. I'm not going to argue the call, but I thought she had all ball. But from obviously 100 feet away, rather than the official who is right on top of that, clearly sees it much better than I do, but a foul called on the play as Schockman will go to the line.
That's the fourth foul on Cadence Pierce.
Free throw up and no good. I thought that was on Halverson, but Pierce gets the call. And now Naring quickly up off the bench will replace Pierce at the next whistle as the free throw is up and good by Schockman. 8:01 to play, 74-52. Still a 22-point ball game, but again, Ogilvie, the fight that they're showing, and now with Pierce with 4 fouls, going to have to go to the bench for probably 3 minutes.
Right. It's a very dangerous spot for Ogilvie. Has been all second half.
Naring back with it, trying to get a screen. Gets a foul called.
So that's going to be the second foul on Emily Davis.
And that'll be 6 on the Bombers. So the next foul will put the Lions at the free throw line.
Nevis has taken the lead 50-49. 7 minutes left to go.
Baseline drive by Byer. That's up and no good. Long rebound. Run out for Davis. Davis quickly across it goes. And a lay-in for Morgan Rysdam at the other end.
Great pass in transition.
Byer comes back with it now. Byer, top of the key. Inside it goes. Halverson right to the rack. No good. Duvernay with the rebound.
Had the look they wanted. It just didn't fall.
And the far side, it goes now into the hands of Morgan Rysdam. Duvernay steps up, flips it underneath for Zimpel. Zimpel kicks it back out for Duvernay. Little floater at the free throw line. That's up and good. And we talked before about the touch and the versatility of Nicole Duvernay. Just tremendous.
The control she has with the basketball is incredible.
Ruby Byer trying to drive inside, trapped there, and tied up by Emily Davis. And a jump ball favoring Ogilvie as Pierce is going to come back.
You almost have to.
When you're running short, you have to try to keep rotating players in, and Pierce is just going to have to be aware of where she's at, and
right, and down
kind of Olay defense from now.
And down 26 points with 7 minutes left to play. What are you waiting for?
Three's up and no good. Halverson with another offensive rebound. Try to kick it back out. It's knocked away by Zimpel. I'm really impressed with the way Sophia Halverson, who in the 3 games now that I've seen, this is the most minutes that she's had, and she's got some offensive rebounds.
She's playing well, yeah. She's fighting down low.
Ball fake by Beyer, not there. And had it knocked away, gets it back. High post far side, try to kick it inside. Deflected away by Davis. Zimpel ended up with it, and Schockman couldn't handle it in the front court, dribbled it off of her foot. Kind of ate her up just a little bit and went off of her toes. Out of bounds, it'll go back over to the Ogilvie Lions. Now set to check in on the next whistle, Mia Schultz, the other Lion that doesn't have a ton of playing time. Again, Ogilvie only dresses 9. They dressed 10 with Grace Hines, but with that injury, again, shorthanded. Up top, Pierce. Pierce looking for a screen from Naring. Gets around that. Pierce, little kind of an off-balance runner at the three-point line. Can't get it to go. Naring with an offensive rebound and is fouled. But Pierce, I don't know that I've ever seen kind of a ball fake runner at the three-point line.
A Euro step for 3.
And she still almost made it. So
yeah.
I'm not knocking the play. Not something I've seen. I've covered a lot of games over the course of my career. I've watched a lot of games over the course of my life. First free throw, no good. 78-53. Like I said, it was good. Sienna jinxed her, and then the second one was no good. Rebound comes out to the Bombers. Madison Davis quickly up ahead. Morgan Riseham thought about a 3. And I think maybe the idea for the Bombers is just slow things down. Now the ball taken away by Schultz. Schultz going back with it. And no foul. I guess it was just knocked away. Thought there was maybe a little contact, but maybe it was all ball. But again, Mia Schultz, who hasn't really seen any playing time at all. Those 2 players, Halverson and Schultz, really kind of come into play here in the last couple of minutes.
Right. The bench of the Lions is playing really well as well.
Ball knocked away from Pierce by Risdam, and Risdam just stepped on the sideline. Coach Loy saying that she was pushed out of bounds, but she stepped on the sideline nonetheless, and it'll go back over to the other side for the Lions. Pierce back with it. Jab step working on Risdam. Step back 3. That rattles its way in and out. No good. Duvernay with the rebound. Ahead for Zimpel. Stops at the three-point line. Inside for Heikes. Now back out for Davis.
Clock is your friend if you're the Bombers.
Sets up far side. Flips it up top now for Duvernay. Duvernay drives towards the basket and is fouled by Halverson. That was what I was kind of working towards in my mind on the last possession, that for Braham there was a 3 that Morgan Risdam could have taken but didn't, because I think kind of the message is, all right, we have a 35-second clock. Let's utilize most of that. Not necessarily just stand there with the ball, but let's be very patient.
Right. You want to be deliberate with the ball.
Free throw by Duvernay up and good, makes it 79-53. Second free throw is good. And it's up to an 80-53 lead of 27.
WHA has retaken the lead 60-59 with 2 minutes left to go over Nevis.
Inside it goes, Naring. Off it goes for Reed. Far side on the wing. Ball knocked away on the far side by Zimpel, but Arnold able to track it down. Pass ended up in the feet of Naring, but she's able to pick that one up, get it off for Reed. Reed picked up her dribble, but everybody stopped moving. Naring looking to try to get it in for Halverson. Spins away. Top of the key. Now off for Arnold on the far side. 5 to shoot. Naring for 3. Back iron, no good. And a rebound comes down for Risdam. Good defensive stand there by the Bombers.
The Bomber defense has been stout here tonight.
Off it goes now for Davis. Davis steps up for a 3 but doesn't shoot it. Now off for Duvernay. Duvernay quickly inside for Zimpel. And the reverse lay-in is up and good. And that's kind of that play we were talking about, that you don't need to shoot a shot that you can kind of wait for it a little bit and get a better one inside. Just be patient with the ball.
Yeah, run your offense.
Little runner by Cadence Pierce on the near side edge of the lane is up and good. Ball over for Risdam. Thought about a 3. Ball fake, dribbles to the basket, and it's up and good. And Braham leads now 82-55. 84-55. Lead it by 29. Up top it goes for Reed. Reed into the paint, and she's has it knocked away from her as she goes up, but Naring comes down with it. Arnold, far side on the wing. Dribbles to the high post. Up top for Reed. Reed tries to spin away from a defender. Up top now for Arnold. Flips it inside for Halverson. Halverson bullying her way across. That layup is up and good. And Halverson with a couple of buckets here in the second half.
Making the most of her time.
Duvernay fires it underneath for Zimpel, and she's fouled as Arnold was kind of coming from behind a little bit. The good news is we do have Besser still on the bench, but she has not returned and probably unlikely will, as the free throw's up and no good by Zimpel. Schultz and Beyer return now for the Lions, so Beyer, Schultz, Naring, Pierce, and Arnold. I was like, where's the fifth person? Way down here at the other end of the court. And for the Bombers, it's going to be Emily Davis, now Alex Rysdam, Morgan Rysdam, Avery Schachman, and Olivia Hikes.
Ooh. Staying close over in Wadena Deer Creek. 63-62 WHA.
Coming right down to the end.
Winner of that one will play the winner of this one.
Ball inside. Naring got herself free.
Nice pass.
And wide open for the easy lay-in right at the basket. Able to get that one to go. Back it'll come now for the Bombers. Driving to the basket is Schachman. Kicks it back out. Davis. Three on the way. Hikes knocks that one down from downtown. And Ogilvie will bring it back now, 87-59. Bounce pass off for Schultz, kind of at her feet, but she's able to gather it back up. Ball knocked away as the screen and roll up high from Beyer has it knocked away. Now into the ball game as Braham starting to make that move to the bench. Bridget Gawley and Mackenzie Gawley into the ball game for the Braham Bombers. Crossover by Pierce. Kicks it back out. Schultz thought about a three, but passed it up for Beyer. Beyer skip pass taken away by Emily Davis. Just sinking away on defense. And it comes now for Gawley. Into the corner goes for Alex Rysdam. Rysdam up top. Into the hands for Schachman. Now to the high post. Driving towards the basket. Mackenzie Gawley kicks it back out for Schachman. Over to the near side. Thought about a three was Bridget Gawley, but doesn't fire it. Bounce pass off for Rysdam. Braham very deliberate on offense.
Just running their offensive set.
Gawley off for Schachman. That three, that one's going to be back iron, no good. Gawley with the rebound. Putback is no good. Rebound comes down for Beyer. Tearing that one away from Alex Rysdam. And for Pierce. Pierce for three on the far side, and that's good. Braham will come back with it now. 87-62 here in the second half with 100 seconds remaining in the ball game. Right to the basket goes Emily Davis. Left-handed lay-in, no good. She's kind of off balance a little bit on her off foot. Back it'll come now for Pierce. Pierce was going to the basket, but the timeout called by Coach Addix, wanting to be able to get some substitutions into the ball game. Mostly just wanting to get some rotational players in at the end of the ball game here. 90 seconds remain in the ball game. 87-62 is the lead for the Bombers in what is going to be a subsection championship. They'll present trophies and all the medals after the ball game. We'll do a recap from the ballpark here, and then we'll keep an eye on the other side. WHE, Walker, Hackensack, Eagley, and Nevis doing battle in the West subsection.
70-65 WHA over Nevis with, it says 1 minute left to play.
So coming down to the wire in that one at Wadena Deer Creek High School. Winners will meet on Friday at 7:45 at Hollenbeck Hall.
I've not done a game there. I've been there, but I've never done a game there.
Going back to some of the earlier years of Braham during the three-peat championships, I would do numerous games from the floor there. The last time that I was there was Malacca section championship against Albany last year, up on the mezzanine. Lob pass comes inside now for Halverson, is knocked away. Last touch by Halverson. It'll be Braham basketball. Shockman, Golly, Davis, and Rysdam out there for the Bombers. Shockman takes the ball, it was deflected away, and she just grabbed it and ran to the basket, the layup is good.
They gave Shockman the ball on the run. That's dangerous.
89-62 is the lead for the Braham Bombers. Ball knocked away. Pierce went to her knees, but able to maintain the dribble, working on Emily Davis. Up top it goes now for Naring. Naring drives to the basket. Low block. Shot is up. No good. Rebound knocked away by Reed. Kick back out. Arnold. She'll fire away a three. That's no good. Naring almost had the offensive rebound, but Golly comes away with it. That's Bridget Golly on the rebound. 40 seconds remain here in the ball game. Braham's going to slow things up. Golly for three. No good. Rebound comes down for Reed. And the shot clock is now off as Ogilvie gets back into the front court. We'll see what kind of set the Alliance go with. Up top for Reed. Ball fake. Dribbles to the high post. Had it knocked away as she goes to the ground. Ball ends up in the hands of the Bombers. And Alex Rysdam is going to slow it up, try to dribble it out. Up top now for Emily Davis. 10 seconds remain. And the Braham Bombers will be your Section 5, Subsection East champion over the top of the Ogilvie Lions. 89-62 is your final score as the Bombers prevail here in Hinckley. We'll come back to the Jaguar Gymnasium and recap today's ball game when we return on FM 100.9 WCMP.
More customers, more name recognition, more employees, more market share. If you'd like a little more for your business, it's time to start digital advertising. Did you know that the average person spends 4.5 hours per day on their smartphone? It's time for you to start reaching them. Streaming TV, SEO or SEM, display ads, and email marketing. If your business could use a little more, contact us now and we can help. info@q-mediagroup.com.
Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for bulk baseball and fast-pitch softball. If your batter needs some individual instruction, Here's the Pitch has lessons with current and former collegiate instructors. Make the right call today. They've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Aw, man. Hinckley Collision.
Hell no. My new car?
Hinckley Collision is the right decision. Fender benders, major accident damage, or hail damage. Hinckley Collision is the right decision. With 24/7 towing and fast, friendly, professional service, their collision department will get you back on the road in no time. With decades of experience dealing with insurance carriers, make the call today. 320-384-7002. 320-384-7002.
FM 100.9 WCMP, Andy Beckstrom, Adam Hefty here in Hinckley as the awards ceremony just starting to begin out on the actual court of the Jaguar Gymnasium as we are now down to one team in our local area for girls basketball as we kind of turn our sights somewhat towards boys basketball. A lot of games coming up here on the WCMP family of networks, including a 3-pack of games tomorrow. East Central St. John's Prep with Ethan Game Day Gilman, Braham versus Swanville with Adam Hefty, and then I will have Foley versus St. Cloud Cathedral. You can find out that and much more on our website at wcmpradio.com/broadcast schedule. That's where you'll find a list of the games that we're going to be doing, what station they're going to be on, and every game listed there is a direct link to the respective YouTube feed that the game audio will be broadcast on. 90-62, your final score here in Hinckley as the Braham Bombers come away with the victory over the top of the Ogilvie Lions. And Adam, I'll get your just first initial impressions of the way the game went as a whole before we dive into too much more.
I think it was a hard-fought game on both sides. I thought Ogilvie really responded well. They have one of their leaders out with an injury, another player that went out with an injury in the first half, but they kept fighting. They kept playing hard. It's just they were just overmatched by Braham. Braham just played so well. This was the best Bomber team I've seen all season. They're getting contributions from everywhere up and down the roster.
There wasn't really anybody that was hesitant at all for the Brant Bomber squad. There was just confidence everywhere, and it just oozed out on the floor everywhere tonight. As it just seemed like everything they did worked. It didn't seem like anything was a miscue or a mistake. I mean, sure there was during the game, but at the same time, it was a very, very complete game by the Bombers that, frankly, I don't know if it would have made a difference, but it's got to be heartbreaking, as you mentioned, on the other side for Ogilvie to try to fight as hard as they did in a game like this, but being now down one of their starters and down two very key players off the bench in kind of rapid succession, and being concerned for those players on top of just being shorthanded. We've seen some of the other players, Maya Schultz and Sophia Halverson, come in at the end of the game and still be able to contribute probably better than maybe they thought they were going to be able to, but just such a tough night for the Ogilvie Lions. But again, just a ton of credit to where the Bombers played tonight and what they're able to do.
It was, and at Ogilvie, it takes a lot of mental resiliency and emotional resiliency to fight back, especially in the subsection championship. But something that really didn't catch my eye until I was doing the final stats was Braham did a lot of this without Madison Davis, their signal caller. She was plagued with foul trouble basically all game, and they scored 90 points without her.
90 points, and it wasn't – I don't know that there's somebody that's out on the court that jumps off of the stat sheet, at least to me, having not looked at them. Like maybe Alex Rysdam, she scored, quite a bit in the first half, but otherwise it felt like just a complete balanced team win tonight, as it seemed like everybody was contributing for the Bombers.
It was. I'll take this opportunity. I'll go through the scoring. Leading the way for the Brand Bombers. Guess who it was?
Alex Rysdam.
Nicole Duvernay. 19 points. Guess who was second?
Alex Rysdam.
Olivia Hikas. 17 points.
I'll get
Guess
there
who was
eventually.
third?
Alex Rysdam.
Yes!
Hey.
She got 14 points. But that speaks to how balanced Brand was this tonight. Alex Rysdam, who played maybe the best first half of the Bombers, was third in scoring. She scored 14 points, 11 points from her sister Morgan Rysdam, and then 10 points from Erin Zimpel. So you have 5 players in double figures for the Brand Bombers. 9 points from Avery Schockman off the bench, 6 points from Emily Davis, and then 4 points from Madison Davis. So a really balanced attack from the Brand Bombers from top to bottom.
Balanced attack, top to bottom, 5 players in double figures, and as you mentioned, that's not just from your starters.
Right.
We talked about it at halftime with 20 bench points. It just continued throughout the course of the ball game. It's such a very impressive showing by the Brand Bombers. Want to take one moment, though, to be able to talk about some of the Ogilvie Lions. Addison Reed, the injured Grace Hines, and Lexi Naring, as well as Amelia Arnold, all seniors. As we've talked before, that this is kind of the probably some of the hardest games for us to be able to do, because at some point in time somebody's going to lose, and it's going to be one of our local teams. And we've seen some of these girls play for years and years and years, and then have their career kind of come to a close, and it's emotional for them. And we want to thank them for all their efforts and just years of commitment to their respective programs. On really all of the teams that we've seen this season, but tonight for those handful of girls for the Ogilvie Lions.
Yeah, and us as broadcasters, we don't really cheer for individual players, individual teams. We cheer for basically our area as a whole, if you will. We like the competition in our area. We think we have really good athletes. So it does break our hearts when somebody like Grace Hines goes down with an injury or a Robine. It certainly takes a toll on everybody that's in this gym as well. Even opposing fans, it's really tough to see.
It's definitely a tough time of year, but also a very exciting and rewarding time of year, because you see and appreciate all of the hard work that some of the players graduating and aging out for the teams that have come up short. But then you also talk about teams like Braham that now are moving on to face. Did we figure it out? Is it
Walker Hackensack Akeley?
What?
Waha?
That joke is never going to get old, except for everybody else that's hearing it.
Can't get old if it was never funny.
There we go. You're not wrong. These are the facts of life, as they say. But the Brand Bombers, a very impressive performance in front of their student section, who is out in force tonight. Mostly the boys basketball team, but great support by the Bomber faithful. Jim was packed tonight. Both sides traveled really well. Want to appreciate all the fans for coming out and being a part of the ball game tonight. It was a lot of fun to be out here at the ballpark, and also a lot of fun to be alongside. Once again, alongside.
No, it was a great time. It was good to get the band back together.
Absolutely. Did you have more stats? Did we already kind of cover pretty much everything?
Let's wrap it up. I do want to get an interview with Coach Zach Loy before we head out, but yeah, a great showing by the Braham, by the Ogilvie Lions even. But Braham really, I think they're set up pretty well moving forward. I was skeptical throughout the season, just the way that they play, but all that skepticism is gone now. I think they are a contender.
If they can play the way they played tonight, I don't know who beats them.
Right.
Maybe Hopkins.
Well, they had a hard time with Mountain
Hopkins any good.
They had a hard time with Mountain Iron Buell, but I think that's a different team.
Mm-hmm. Should be an interesting finish to the season, as the next matchup for the Braham Bombers will be against Walker Hackensack Akeley on Friday night, 7:45 from Hollenbeck Hall in St. Cloud. Not sure who the broadcast team will be just yet, as we got to figure out who wins and who loses in many, many other games, as we also have a multitude of boys basketball games going on across the WCMP family of networks here with our broadcast team, as we're kind of spread out everywhere.
Yes.
Got cough drops in the car and bottles of water ready to go to be able to bring you all of these games. So 90-62, your final score as the Braham Bombers win it over the top of the Ogilvie Lions in a very, I don't want to say dominant, because I don't want to take anything from Ogilvie away, but just a really solid win for the Braham Bombers over the top of the Ogilvie Lions tonight. Next up, a trio of games tomorrow night in boys basketball in various different locations. Go over to WNCMPradio.com/broadcast schedule to find out more and to be able to find out where we're going to be and what station we're going to be broadcasting on. Want to thank all of our sponsors for jumping on board, including Beaver Creek Meadow Garden Center, which opens tomorrow. Tomorrow. Going to be fantastic weather this weekend, so maybe stop by there and get some stuff started.
Andy might have the day off.
I might have the day off. I don't know. I wouldn't know what I would. May as well go there and get some gardening supplies, be able to do some landscaping around the old farmstead. Maybe be able to get some stuff going. But want to thank Ethan Game Day Gilman getting us on the broadcast. Want to thank Adam for allowing me to join him along
Thanks for coming.
Ball game.
No, this was great.
Absolute blast to be out here at the ballpark. Want to thank all of our listeners up and down the networks for joining us for all of the various games. My name is Andy Beckstrom for Adam Hefty on a big win by the Braham Bombers. They match up for the section championship on Friday. And until next time, have a good night, everybody.
Promoting good health in children is the best way to ensure they'll enjoy good health as adults. Don't skip out on your children's wellness appointments. Call Wellia Health today at 320-679-1313 to set up a Well Child visit. Our friendly family medicine providers love to support young families by helping your children stay healthy, active, and feeling their very best. WelliaHealth.org.